Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to another episode of Afterstore for Superstore. Tonight we're breaking down seasonal help and Black Friday because it's that time of year, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love it.
Right? This one's gonna bring the funk. Just wait.
Yeah.
Love it. It's the Jackson 5 version. You gotta love that. You gotta
that
love
time of year.
It is. It's after Halloween, so
Yep.
it's all about this music. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm your host, Alina Vision. You can find me on all social media at Alina Vision. That's Vision with 2 S's. And of course, my lovely co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Kelsey Hightower. You can find me on social media at Kels Hightower.
Hi guys, I'm Tara Erickson. You can find me on Twitter at the Tara Erickson, TaraErickson.
That's right. All right. Let's get in the holiday spirit with our fellow Superstore fans.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 episodes tonight, so this should be fun. Actually, I thought both episodes were really, really fun. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
They definitely
good.
brought home a lot of what happens during the holidays, I
Yeah.
think, especially in retail. If you've worked in retail, you know what I'm talking
You know
about.
what's going down.
Exactly. All right, so let's start off with the first one, seasonal help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a time in the season when stores are looking for seasonal help, and Superstore is definitely one of those. So, we start off with the Monday meeting as usual, and there's a whole host of new people there. And before that. This was kind of big, actually. How can I forget? Before that, in the little opening before the credits, Adam, who is Amy's husband, happens to come in the store, and Jonah, just, trying to be nice, kind of offers him a job because apparently his barbecue business is not doing so well.
Surprise, surprise.
I know, shocker, right? So, what did you guys think when that all went down?
God, it was so weird. It was like Jonah was like trying to bro out with him. And,
Yeah.
and then I felt like it was one of those things where you just like vomit of the mouth. Where you're like, oh, shoot, work here. Like, because he's like doesn't have a job.
Yeah. Which is so sweet of Jonah. I
yeah,
feel like it
right.
still shows his compassion and just like big, warm heart. Put his foot in his mouth, but
Totally. Well, I mean, also at the same time, I feel like maybe he didn't. He just was like, you should work here just to be like, I want to see what it's like what your deal is, maybe?
I think so.
I don't know. Like, it was like
Maybe.
50-50.
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of got that it was like a Jonah thing. Like he was just trying to be
He
nice.
just does that,
and
yeah.
just, yeah,
I
sweet.
think he just kind of like threw it out there, not expecting him
Yes.
to take it, because normally most people don't really want to work with their spouse as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, he was for it, and Amy, you
Which
could
we
tell,
saw
was just
from
freaking
Amy.
out. Yeah,
That was the shocker for me, I guess. It was not as much Jonah offering the job. It was more that Amy was like, no.
Really, you were shocked about that?
Kind of. I was like, well, just that she would kind of elevate it so much that it was like, no, and then, getting everybody involved, like, no, honey, you can't work here, sort of thing. But, I don't know.
Yeah,
It was
I
interesting. I'm
expected
glad
it.
that it happened.
Yeah.
I was really glad for the story purpose. And
Totally.
for them to start the show off with a whole, like, plot turn, I guess.
Right, exactly.
It was fun to, like, start the whole show off with, like, and Adam is here, and he's working. Confrontation. Let's go,
Exactly.
Yeah, it was exciting.
I think,
liked
did
it.
we predict sometime way back when that he might possibly somehow join the crew eventually?
Or like start working there.
Exactly.
We might have made
I
that
think we
joke
did.
a while
I think
ago
we
that, like,
did.
he'll
Maybe it
probably
was
end up there.
Frank.
Maybe. Long lost Frank. Oh.
I know. Throwback.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, getting back to the morning meeting.
Matthew is in the chat. Just shout out to
what
Matthew.
up, Matthew? Yes, we have our live chat going. So if you're watching us live on YouTube, go ahead and hit us up in the chat.
Yeah.
Good
please
friend
do.
Matthew is there.
Matthew.
So yeah, there was a moment when Adam said, don't like hate on me because I'm sleeping with the boss. And there was a
Right.
split second when they cut to Jonah's face, and you could tell he was kind of like it hit him like, oh god, they have sex together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then he calls her his bean. His
Yeah.
little naked bean. Which just totally ruined her for like the rest of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't want I wouldn't want my whole crew.
But that's like
work.
an even more intimate thing, right? Like they're swimming in like little naked bean. I think there's another pickup of Jonah after he said that, and Jonah was just like, God, it keeps coming.
Yeah.
You know, like all these hits of like, oh man, he's feeling it right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, with the temps, people that have worked there a long time don't think that they're going to last that long. Normally temps last a season, but apparently at Superstore they start dropping like flies real quick, which ends up being a gambling game. First, it starts off with Jonah, Dina, and Garrett.
Yes.
So we learned a little bit about Jonah, that he has a gambling problem.
I know.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise. I mean, we haven't heard a whole lot from Jonah on his past. I mean, other than the girlfriend coming up, but not like anything about like a gambling problem or anything.
Dramatic.
So this was big, you know?
Yeah. I thought it all made sense. It was like, yeah, that's why you are working at Superstore, because you gambled all your money away. Like, you probably had
that
to leave
could have been
school
it.
because you had money. Maybe he had a loan or a scholarship, and then probably got in trouble, probably got kicked out, because he's really smart.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it all makes sense.
It's all coming together
That
now.
is true. I feel like it just clicked for me right now.
Yeah.
That's why.
There you go, girl.
Learn
Thanks,
something
Tara.
new every day. So it progresses from just the three of them into an actual pool of all the regulars betting on the temps. And it goes so far as to people actually trying to make people quit so that they win the bet. Now, who was your favorite one out of the ones that they were trying to make quit, and how they were trying to make them quit?
Oh, God.
Myrtle?
Yes.
That was my favorite.
Yes, I love
On
Myrtle.
the ladder, and she's like trying to push the old lady like off, you know, like two little old ladies like fight her. I don't know. It was just like adorable. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite,
one of them is
too.
gonna die.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Just like an old lady
Yeah.
pushing an old lady, like trying to get her off of a ladder. That
She's
was a
so
great
spunky.
pickup.
Yeah.
Myrtle is my favorite.
Most of
I
them just
love
had
her.
pickups, right? Like the rash face guy, he just
Right,
was like, had a rash on his face. I don't know what he was doing in the aisle. I can't remember. I feel like he was like eating shampoo. Like he just looked weird. Do you guys remember that?
I don't
Yeah.
It was like they're like, oh, rash face over there, and I was like, what is he eating? Like, what is he doing?
I thought it was
Poor
like,
guy.
it looked like cold medicine
What?
or something. to me.
Maybe
I don't
that
know.
was it. Yeah,
It was something weird.
Yeah, I don't remember. I
Yeah.
mean, the one that Jonah was working with that actually said sayonara, like, he was okay, but he wasn't like a huge character like the old lady or
Right.
the
Cheyenne and Mateo.
oh, yeah.
Right. They
The
actually
sexual
team up. Yeah.
harassment a little bit. That was fun.
Oh yeah, the lady who loves books.
The lady that loves books.
Yeah.
I mean, do we all love a good book every now and then? You just
Yeah.
get lost.
Even when
know?
you're at work,
Even-
it's all good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be back with you guys in a minute. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
Right.
finish this page.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
trying to, bag up the
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
exactly.
So at the end, we come to find out that all of these people that Glenn has hired are from Last Chances at his church. Oh no!
So
What a
sad.
heartbreaker.
Exactly. So sad. So sad.
Because now that guy was already already quit. 'Cause
Exactly.
They pushed him over the edge, and then he's like, "Oh man, so sad."
Yeah, and then Jonah goes out and gives him the money that he actually won from the whole betting pool, $200.
Yep.
And lo and behold, the guy's like, "Oh, so thankful for it," and then
Yeah.
calls his drug dealer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like such a sweet, heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like, how I feel sometimes when I'm giving money to like homeless or not homeless, but people on the street or anything. It's like, what are you doing with this money?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how you,
Yeah.
why
Just
you
gotta
feel
have
that
faith.
way.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just gotta
So,
have good faith.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matthew Kane in the chat says Myrtle was gangsta.
gangsta.
Yes.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
Yeah,
She was savage.
totally.
Okay, so let's talk about Amy and Adam because they have some tension between them. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that their marriage is totally on the rocks. It is apparent. Glenn brings it up.
I love that Glenn's the
Yeah.
one that brought this up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy that he's the one that, right?
Yeah, called her out. It was like, well, the things, I'm surprised that you allowed Adam to work here because of your marriage, everything going on with your marriage. And she was like, what? And that, I feel like that triggered her to be like, wait a second, I'm snapping out of this whole fantasy with Jonah and I am like determined to prove to people that I have a good marriage.
Right, but you could tell like she was trying to prove it to people. It wasn't like her trying to work on the marriage.
Nope.
It was just her overcompensating.
She was laying it on thick. Yeah, man. She's trying to put on a good show, but everyone was just looking at her like, you just looking like a fool.
They got it on in the copy room, or what was it?
The photo room.
room.
The copy,
Yeah.
Except they didn't really, because he was so worried about the copier the whole time.
Just so
like,
weird.
It's so... Yeah, I don't know.
And
the
we
whole
found
thing
out,
was just sad.
he had a travel agency that apparently failed because he couldn't get copies.
Banners.
Like, really?
Like, yeah.
It's kind of like their relationship is like, I feel like she is taking care of him like
Totally.
he's like a child in a sense, like, no honey, I'm not going to, print 1,000 brochures for your travel agent. And like even at work we kind of see their relationship like, don't do it that way. Why are you putting the DVDs on the shelf like that? Like nitpicking, but also feeling like she's taking care of him.
Right.
And like I feel like we just get a glimpse into their home life.
Which doesn't seem too
Where he's not
peachy-keen.
the what is it? The brightest something, the best screw in the
best,
toolbox,
the brightest
bulb in
the box.
in the lights
Yes.
area. Okay,
Sharpest
listen,
tool
guys.
in the shed.
I'm obviously that's me right now. Okay,
Calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
We'll just keep them coming.
Exactly. When he's unloading the box, but the box is 5 feet away. That has rollers and wheels on it.
Right.
And it's like you can roll it up to be an inch away and get the work done in half the time. And it's just like, oh, okay, I get that you're dealing with someone who's might be not the brightest bulb. What did we decide?
box.
Got it in the box.
And that can start to wear on you for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You would just constantly be looking at someone being like,
Really?
What's how? Why? There's a better way. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to Glenn getting his workplace Santa on. Trying to find the best Santa because 'tis the season. There's always Santas in these stores. And he has a lineup of people. Obviously those are the ones that passed the background test and didn't pop up in Megan's Law search.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's good. I loved how they had like a variety of different Santas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Cody was my favorite.
Yes.
Who actually got the job.
They got the job. He's great. He didn't even try. He's just like,
not at all.
no white hair, no white beard.
Why
Shirts
do that?
open.
Yeah.
He probably
like
hates all children.
Like Dickies.
Yeah.
Uniform on. Not
That
even.
was pretty dirty, in my opinion. I was
He
like,
probably just
rough.
came from work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Came from the Superstore work. Yeah. So
Santa interviews, man.
That was good.
that was good. Glenn
Very
gets
interesting.
into the spirit for sure.
I do want to interject it for a second. When Glenn is sitting on their laps just to test that, I think that was one of my favorite moments. It's just like having Glenn sit on someone's lap until your knees are numb, and they're like, you need to get off, and Glenn's like, well, there's some pudgy kids out there. Out there.
Porkers. So you're gonna have to get used to it.
So
It's like boot camp with Glenn.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I just had to throw that in there.
I love it.
See,
Santa
I
boot camp.
think that covers pretty much that episode.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
By the way, the
Yes.
last thing, Dina has a great minion voice. Like the boss for the minions
Yes.
has that. God, I can't do it. But she has a good one. If anybody looks back there and be like, yeah, that's the boss from the Minions, she does a good voice.
And Matthew.
In the chat says
He's
Glenn.
Superstore's bad Santa.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Cody.
So,
yeah, for sure. All right, moving on to Black Friday.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The Black Friday. So how do you guys feel about Black Friday? Like, I've never done the whole Black Friday thing. I like my sleep. I like Cyber Monday. That's my jam.
Right.
But what about you guys?
I have been Black Friday shopping one time with my cousin, and it was a nightmare. We stayed up all night because Black Friday shopping starts at like midnight on Thanksgiving, and now it's starting earlier and earlier.
Now it's starting
So
at like 9 or
It's
6.
Yeah,
which
so
I think
it's just like you start on Thanksgiving and you just shop all night long.
Now, is it like they portrayed it? Because I've seen videos of how they portrayed it on the show tonight, where it's just bananas, like
Yeah.
BANANAS, bananas.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that.
Well, my experience was back home in Oklahoma, and it wasn't as crazy, but there's a lot of lines. I'll say that. The lines are very long. It's like sitting on the 405.
Yeah,
for
it's rough.
A toy, you know.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Nah, not really. I mean, back in the day when I was like loving on Old Navy, okay, I was like, that's where we're going. And I went, and it was not like at the top of the hour, obviously, but just like clothes are strewn everywhere. It's hard to find your size. But, like, at the same time, it's like a rush because you're like, I'm going to find it in this pile. It's going to be great because it's only $8. Come on. We got to find it. I need this size. And then you do, and you're like, yeah, move on to the next aisle. And it's just like, you become like a maniac. And then you're like, yeah, check me out. We're going to go to another store. It's like a weird, addictive thing. If you get like a sweet deal.
Right.
Especially if you have to get a lot of Christmas gifts. Right. You know what I mean? Then you're like, yeah, this scarf only got $3, and look what it's marked, 16.
Yeah.
Like, they'll
See,
never
I've done like later in the day, like around 6 p.m.
Yeah, okay,
But everything's gone by then, so I'm like, why am I even here?
I'm a hard shopper on Black Friday because I don't really have like a big screen that I want to buy. Like all of the stuff that's marked down so much is not anything that I can
you need.
Need or afford or anything. Yeah, so
speaking of big items, Cheyenne and Mateo go outside to like kind of man the line, and a guy comes up to them and is like, could you like set aside a big screen for me? And they're like, no, that wouldn't really be fair. He's like, well, I'll give you $40.
And they're like,
$40 each.
Yeah,
take it. I love it.
Totally. I never thought of that, to buy people off in line, like talk to an employee if you're waiting.
I never thought of that too.
Throw you a hundy. Can you like do this thing?
But you know
it's a great idea.
Somebody out there obviously has
done
it for sure. For sure.
Smart, if you
it
really
is
want
smart.
it.
If you really want it.
And if you trust that it's going to
actually be there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we start off 3 a.m. Everyone's really upset that they're even there. They're having some sort of potluck.
Yep.
Yeah, which will come back to haunt them later in a big way.
In a big way.
And Garrett's not having it. Cheyenne's not having it. But Glenn is like, today I'm going to be Obama cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get all worked up. He's going to be Obama cool. Okay.
Yeah. I love that phrase.
Yeah.
I'm going to be Obama cool. I'm going to carry that through.
Exactly. Good for you, Glenn. Dina, I love how she says everyone is act, assess, communicate, take action.
And then she tries to explain it, and she's like, it's just those 3 words.
Yeah, exactly.
4 words.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean, guys.
So the doors come tumbling down, and it's complete mayhem. Amy... while the doors are coming down, Amy gets nauseous. Right. So what were you guys' first thoughts when that happened?
Pregnant. Right.
Right off the bat. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Well,
her and Adam
doing
just did it in the photo room. Yeah. So here we go. We're making a baby.
Yep.
They're married. It's totally cool. Making babies, making more.
Yeah, but you could tell like when she was like talking to him.
Right. She had to remind him on that phone call. She's like, yes, we did in the photo thing.
Yeah, she had to remind him.
It had been a while, like they had not.
Yeah.
Meaning his response with that line was, what are you talking about? We haven't had sex. She's like, no, we did in the photo booth or whatever booth. Which it means, it says to me, that's like, you're not doing it. You haven't done it in a while, which like also adds to the sadness of their having, struggles. And then just like, yes, you can get pregnant at any angle. That angle too. That was
she has
hilarious.
to explain it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, bless his heart.
It's not the brightest bulb in the bus.
Yeah. So she's on it. She got it. She's the first one to get sick, and she goes up to the pharmacy and asks for a pregnancy test because she can't find any. And the pharmacist was super creepy about it.
He's been very creepy.
Yeah. I don't know how I felt about that.
I don't remember what he said to her. He just like, why you need one? She's like, and she just looked at him, and I forget
then he was like, oh, you dirty bird, you.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay,
Excuse me,
I missed that.
None of your business.
Must have been writing. Yeah. Like, ooh, don't comment on a women's pregnancy test.
Exactly.
Oh, rough.
That's,
Ew.
yeah, awkward.
You.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get back to Garrett. I love Garrett. Like, I just want, like, if I was to have a job at Superstore, it'd probably be his job, just getting on the microphone the whole time. So Dina tells him to go and help out with the register. He does not want to do it, which I can't blame him because I hate ringing up people.
Yeah.
Especially on a Black Friday.
Yeah, rough.
That would be rough. So he decides, he's like, yeah, right after I'm done with this announcement. And it's like the longest announcement ever.
It's a good ploy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, would you guys have named off all the movies that you could possibly find on Xbox?
I would be like, what are all the movies again? Like,
I'd have to have a list, you know.
Yeah.
But I love that he not only just names them, but he goes into
the
depth of the
description,
plot.
right?
You know?
There were so many like Tom Hanks films in there and
All
stuff.
the
It was
Tom
like
Hanks.
all mostly Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah.
No, it was great.
Jen
I loved
A.
it.
He's giving like a plot description.
Yes, so good.
Synopsis.
Breakdown.
He's
Yeah.
just so. Oh, he is my favorite. Just like what you were talking about.
Yeah.
He's just sarcastic and just. I love that he can stand up to Dina and just he's not afraid of her.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of my favorite characteristic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about everyone getting food poisoning because that would suck.
It would totally suck if it's
It
everyone.
just sucks
Yeah.
when you get food poisoning, but if you have to be at work, especially on Black Friday, and everyone else has it, so there's no one to cover for you, so
Right.
it's not like you can just leave.
Right.
Oh,
The worst.
it's like
Yeah.
doomsday.
It is, man.
Yeah.
They're like taking barf shifts.
Yeah.
They really are, yeah. And potlucks, I just, you know, there's a scary thing because everyone's bringing something. You don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
Somebody gave them food poisoning. Oh, man, it's just, yeah.
Normally, I'm totally on board for it because then
Right.
you're like, oh, I don't have to eat this whole meal.
Right.
I can take a little of this and a little
of
of that
that.
and that too, which is also ends in the maybe the same feeling of food poisoning, except it's not. It's just like, okay, I ate 18 different things of food
Yeah.
today.
There's a lot of
That's
different
true.
tastes in the
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lot going on there.
Yeah, I guess it
Potlucks.
just depends on like who it is, because you know, like with your friends, you know where they're.
Yeah.
But like work situations, you know, like
Yeah, with the
coming
potluck
from-
thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Cheyenne, you know, who knows
Yeah, who
what
knows?
she whipped together.
Add some cayenne pepper in there.
Air horn, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So when everyone's getting sick, they're taking turns, you know, doing their
Right.
thing in the bathroom.
totally.
I think one of my favorite scenes this
Oh, God.
episode was Jonah and Amy end up in stalls right next to each other. And if you've ever had food poisoning, it is not pretty.
No.
It's not.
And
No.
they're like waiting for each other.
They're
Oh.
to go. So they're
Yeah.
just like, so.
Yeah, I think that's how you know they kind of like each other because otherwise
There's
you would
no
not.
way.
Yeah.
She would go,
No.
oh, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's just like, I mean, in that moment, she opened up to him. She's like, well, you know, you asked, and you know, I'm not pregnant, and I'm
Right.
glad about that. It was such a weird, intimate situation. I know it was
Right.
like awkward,
Yeah.
but it became so intimate so fast because number one, you wouldn't be in the bath with anyone that else. She'd be like, I'm out of here, like get
Right.
out. But they were like okay with it. She opened up to him. It was crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
she even told him how many kids she probably imagined herself wanting, and then being like, but I just didn't want it with in this world. And you're like, oh girl, you about to say Adam.
Yeah.
It just was such a intimate moment, and a lot of information was divulged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant how they set that up, how the
I
writers
agree.
set that up, and that because it's such an awkward place to have a conversation like
It
that,
is.
Yeah.
especially in situation, and still, I don't know, make it, intimate. It was,
Yeah.
I liked that.
Me too.
So let's get back to Amy at the end, or actually no, Garrett. Garrett, when everyone's saying like, "Let's call it a day,"
Because
even
everyone's in
Glenn,
the meeting.
Yeah,
or
everyone's in the
everyone
meeting,
the break room.
and they're sick, and it's like
Nobody's on the floor.
Yeah,
Glenn is high as a kite from all the pills
Yeah,
he's taken.
yes.
He's on Vicodin painkillers.
Yes.
He's popping those every time a stressful situation comes up.
Which
He's
he's
like,
probably
I haven't
done with the
felt him
bottle.
yet. Oh yeah, it's probably the whole bottle.
whole bottle.
After today,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Yes.
And I actually liked Glenn on the Happy Pills.
Oh, God. He was the best.
He was like, whatever. It's all good. But yeah, Garrett actually comes around and tells people, like, we're not quitting. He says, I may not like working here, but I'm going to go out there. I'm going to cut corners. You know, do all of this. I'm going to call it in, but we're going to work.
Yeah.
And people like rally.
I know.
I agree. It was funny because the chain of command went from like Amy's trying to get him. She's like, I can't do it. I'm too sick. And then Jonah gets up. Nobody listens to him. He's like, guys, we got to do this. And then Glenn yells at him and curses so much that everyone stops, looks at him. And he's like, I'm sorry. Did I black out? Which is, I thought was hilarious because he's just so high. Yeah. And then everyone's leaving. And it's like, who would you think? You would think Dina would be the next one, right? But it's like
she
Garrett,
was even defeated.
She was defeated, and Garrett is like Garrett of all people. He's like I do the least here, and he's like, but I never do less than that. Yeah. So like, and then he just rolls out of there, and the music is perfect. It's so good,
so good.
You wouldn't think it would be him, but it was him. He did it.
That was a really beautiful moment. I liked that.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
So they all work together.
Teamwork, come together, one big happy family.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm glad that they all figured it out, worked together, closed at the store.
Yeah.
And then we see Amy telling Adam over the phone that she's not pregnant, but it accidentally slips out that she says she's not happy.
Yep.
So what were you guys thinking when she said that?
God, way to end the break here.
Right.
End it before next time. We have to wait so long.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, called it. I mean, I was saying it was her and Jonah, like, from the start. And I'm like, I think that it's a good time because, like, by the end of this, I'm like, yeah, that's a good enough amount of episodes to finally say how she truly feels rather than, like, keeping it lingering on. But I think it was sad because he seems like a little too dumb to realize that those emotional feelings could like be lacking in their relationship. Like just like, oh hi, here's dinner and let's go to bed. I mean, I don't know. Right. But I feel like she probably has kept that hidden for a long time. Mm-hmm. You know? So it's a sad situation, but I'm glad that it was like finally said.
I know. Yeah. It's good that it's out there because everybody's been wondering about their marriage. We haven't seen Adam in the picture that much this season, and so it's nice to be able to see him and her working together, like from the last episode, and then like her express herself on the marriage, and whichever direction the writers decide to go with it, it's just good that she's talking about it. Right. And that the audience is aware of what's going on in their world and can kind of see how they act towards each other.
Yeah, because it was a disaster. Even then, she's trying to prove it to everyone, put on this show. He's kind of like, don't nag me. It's that whole...
I mean, you can't fake the funk.
You can't.
You just can't. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. But the big surprise at the end that we were all like, what?
I lost my mind.
Lost our minds. Dina and Garrett kissed.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was... I mean, she went in for, like, the peck, and then I'm like, okay, it's just a peck.
Yeah.
And then they looked at each other, and then they, like, full on, like...
Make out.
Yes. Oh, man, she got in there, and then was like, meet me in 5 minutes or something, whatever she said.
Yeah.
The copy room is where it's at.
Like,
and if you don't get
down
there in time, I'll start on my own. That's what she said. Yeah. Which is such a Dina thing.
Dina.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was out of nowhere. Like we were saying, it was set up in the Halloween, right? He was obsessed with her boobs. But we're like, yeah, we get it. Her boobs are just, you can't ignore them. Everyone is looking at them.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I am so sad that none of us like threw that out there. Like as a prediction to be like, maybe they'll.
Yeah, because the Halloween is when it started, and that's kind of when I was thinking, okay, if something's gonna happen, it'd be this episode or the next one. I think they kind of talked for a second, or they were like became kind of a friend group. But then it was like I completely forgot about it last week. Like wasn't in my mind.
Yeah.
Me neither.
And then tonight it went down.
Mic drop.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that wraps up that episode. So shall we get into a prediction?
Your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
So Matthew in the chat says Dina and Garrett sitting in a tree.
Yes,
Yep.
Totally.
All right. So start off with predictions.
Oh yeah, what are we gonna come back with? I'll let you start.
Oh man, I don't know. I think Amy will probably tell her husband, they'll have a conversation. He probably won't want to get divorced. I think she might say, we're gonna try and go to counseling or try to work it out. I think that will probably fail by like episode 4 of, but I'm calling it season, like, what season are we on? The next half, whatever.
Right.
The next half is going to take a couple episodes to get in there, but I don't think, I think eventually they will probably end it, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I think they're going to try to work on it and like get counseling. Dina and Garrett, I think, is just a phase. It's going to last a couple times. I'll be like, are we cool? Yeah, fist bump, out, done. Like, I don't think it's a love thing.
I don't think it's gonna last either. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. I'm trying to think of a different one from Amy, so let me move to Mateo. I think his relationship, we might see corporate guy come back into the picture because that hasn't finished yet.
Was it Jeff?
Jeff, yes. Yeah, I think we might see another. I don't know, we'll see something with him and Mateo because he pops in and out, but they need to finish that storyline.
Yeah, definitely. So I think actually Dina and Garrett are going to become a thing, but I think it's going to be like on the DL. Like nobody else knows.
Like nobody else knows.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on the DL.
I like it.
For sure.
It's going to be hidden, secret.
Yes. Yes.
Garrett's good at secrets.
Exactly. So I think that's going to happen there. I think Amy and Adam are probably going to try to seek help and do the whole counseling thing. And I actually think Jonah might like try to help her in that way, like not because he wants them to be together, but just because
he wants to help her.
He likes her.
He likes her, exactly. Yeah. So I kind of think that's where that's going.
Yeah, totally.
So
love it.
And if you guys have any predictions, go ahead and comment on YouTube. We'd love to hear your predictions. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us those stars. YouTube, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Keep the conversation going. Tweet at us, all of that. Where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at the Tara Erickson, TaraErickson.
Woo woo. And I'm Kelsey Hightower, and you can find me at Kelsey Hightower.
And I'm Alina Vision. You can find me on all social media at Alina Vision, and that's Vision with 2 S's. Until next time, we will see you.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.